Ever since the introduction of plastics into our society, testosterone levels have dipped nearly 50%. Now, I'm not saying that plastics are the only cause. There is a multi-front war on your hormones to make you weak and docile. So if you struggle to put on muscle, retain muscle, struggle to lose fat, have loss of sexual performance, confidence, drive, ambition, you're probably being exposed to too many plastics. And plastics are a hidden source of estrogen. Now, estrogen is the female sex hormone. The more estrogen that we have in our body, the lower our testosterone is going to be. And that's also going to lead to symptoms like increased body fat, low confidence, low sex drive, everything that I just mentioned. It is a fake estrogen. It's a synthetic xenoestrogen, so meaning it mimics estrogen in your body, which is going to wreak havoc on your hormones. So even if you've already eliminated plastic in the sense that what you can see, feel, what you know of is plastic, Tupperwares, bags, saran wrap, you're still being exposed to thousands of sources of plastics. I mean, even myself, I do everything I can to eliminate them, but there are many hidden sources. I could give you hundreds, but I want to make this video simple and effective. So I've put together the top in terms of the most common, so you're probably being exposed to these on a daily basis, and then also the highest return on investment if you can cut these out. So getting the most bang for your buck if you cut these out, if you focus in on these three that I'm about to go over with you, and we can really do some damage. So number one, canned foods. Even if you think this is a common issue that I thought I had eliminated plastic and I thought metal was fine. But not only in canned foods are they typically highly processed. There's a whole, I don't want to get off on a tangent on why that would be bad, and the aluminum is a heavy metal, but they actually line the metal of the can with a form of, it's a plastic lining, and that's constantly seeping in, leaching into the food. And you know, if it's shipped across the country, it's heated up in trucks, or just the amount of time. Canned foods typically have a long shelf life. So canned foods are a top source of estrogens. That's even your green beans, broccoli, soup, even things that may seem healthy. If it's in an aluminum can, even if it says BPA free, that's another point I want to go over really quick. Even if you have plastic water bottles that say BPA free water, but that's all scam. They just use another chemical with a different name that has, you know, if not a worse effect, if not the same effect as BPA or the xenoestrogens in plastic. So if it's plastic at all, it needs to go. That's a scam. They're trying to lie. It's all a marketing tactic for sales. So canned foods, let's eliminate them. We're rolling. Number two, grocery receipts. This is another really surprising one that you'd probably never see coming. But it's because of the thermal paper, that waxy kind of, you know, it's got a shine to it. You can feel it kind of in your hands. Grocery receipts, maybe your airline ticket, parking ticket, stuff like that, are typically printed, lottery tickets, on a thermal paper. And that has a very, very strong estrogenic, xenoestrogen effect once you touch it, because they're absorbed. Multiple studies have shown, I can link some in the description, that within 2 hours of holding a grocery receipt, just for a few minutes, your baseline blood levels of these xenoestrogens and BPA skyrocket. So just from holding it, it's subcutaneous, goes through the skin and into your bloodstream within 2 hours. So obviously, you know, they're hard to avoid, but if you can just tell them, hey, I don't want it. If you have gloves, throw it away right away. Wash your hands after you have to touch one. All right, these are big. It might seem kind of gimmicky, but this is a huge source, and it's an unnecessary source of estrogens in our body and directly in your bloodstream. It's basically like taking an IV of estrogen. And number three, this is another one that really goes under the radar. It's clothing and household fabrics, any kind of fabric. So your bed sheets, you know, the clothes you wear, shower curtains, right? So most clothing today that's manufactured today is polyester, which polyester is petroleum-based, it's plastic-based, and it's very cheaply, inexpensively manufactured, contains a ton of xenoestrogens, and you know, it's sprayed with a bunch of fire retardants. That's another rabbit hole that I can go down. But again, these are the highest ROI and also the most common. So the reason that I'm giving you these three, again, you probably are exposed to these every day, but these are gonna make a massive difference if you can change these things out and substitute. So canned foods, look for something in a jar if it's going to be processed, or make it yourself. Try to avoid canned foods at all costs. Grocery receipts, eliminate them. Say, I don't need it. Wash your hands after you touch them. If you have to keep them for tax purposes or something, just take a picture, get rid of the receipts. And then clothing and household fabrics, because if you really think about it, you're probably wearing clothes most of the time, hopefully, right? You're out in public, you've got clothes on, your underwear, right? So it's touching regions in which are very sensitive. And even things like your couch that you're sitting on, the bed sheets in which you just sleep alone. The average person is sleeping about a third of their life. So if you're sleeping just in polyester sheets alone, yet alone talking about showers and in the shower curtains and then the clothes that you're putting on after that shower, tons of plastic, microplastics, which are really two main ways getting absorbed into your body. The first is directly through the skin because of the constant contact. So that's subcutaneous, getting into your bloodstream. But then also another hidden way is we're breathing them in. So these fabrics, right? You change out the lint after you do the laundry, you dry the clothes, you change out that lint, and you have all that dust flying in the air, and you're throwing it out. Well, think about it. If your clothing is polyester and it's not a real, this is wool or cotton or some natural fiber, well, all those little microscopic, it's plastic. It's not, lint in the sense of like cotton. It's plastic, and that's in your house. You're breathing that in. It's in your lungs. It's in your bloodstream. So change out clothing. Find a natural material, cotton, wool, linen. These are going to be great options. But now that I've kind of covered the top 3 hidden sources of these plastics, estrogens, number one, first and foremost, you don't need to buy any kind of supplements, any kind of detoxes, anything like that. If you can just swap these out and eliminate the source, you've done 95% of the problem right there. But if you want a few solutions, if you've been exposed to a high amount, you feel like your body needs a detox, a reset, a couple great options. Sauna. When we sweat in a sauna, your body is going to be releasing a lot of these plastics, toxins. It's not 100%. Studies vary. I do know that we are excreting these plastics in our sweat that has been measured, but the amounts can vary. So this is a supplemental, again, always cut it at the source. The body's gonna do its things, but as supplemental solutions, getting in a sauna, sweating 1 to 3 times per week is gonna do a trick, give you that boost. And then this is a big one, aromatase inhibitors. Now, aromatase is a enzyme in our body that converts our testosterone into estrogen. And a lot of these plastics are pro-aromatase foods. So they're keeping your aromatase inhibitors high, a lot of them, and they're constantly converting your testosterone into estrogen. This is why you might struggle if you're struggling to lose weight, but you've been crash dieting or you've been working out hard, but you just still have that skinny fat look, right? It's a hormone imbalance because you may be cutting the calories and you should be on paper losing weight. But you're not putting on the muscle. You're not, you don't get that pump. You don't feel hard as much anymore. And that's because you may be very high estrogenic. So aromatase inhibitors is going to be compounds that inhibit the aromatase activation. So in simple, when you consume these, and I'm going to give you a list of foods here in a second that are high aromatase inhibiting foods, but when you consume them, you're going to inhibit or block the conversion of your testosterone into estrogen. So this is a great way to fight back. And it's my favorite solution because it's highly effective, but it's also food-based. So you're really, you don't need any supplements or any of these short-term fixes. If you can change your diet and some simple, and I'll link them in the description as well because I don't have them written on the whiteboard, but some aromatase inhibiting foods are going to be anything in the cruciferous vegetable group. So that's your broccoli, cauliflower, radishes. You've got like bok choy. Cruciferous vegetables, number one. You've got, and I'm just giving you a few. There's a ton. I'll plug some in the description again. You've got citrus fruits. So grapefruit, oranges, right? Lemons, limes, which are incredible for detoxification. A lot of these, you'll see these foods stack, and they're gonna work on multiple different citrus, also is going to help raise your T. It's going to give you good skin. It's going to protect your immunity. So a lot of these good foods, when you switch to whole foods, you realize you don't even need to focus on them for one purpose. They have hundreds of purposes. But your top aromatase inhibiting foods is green tea, cruciferous vegetables, citrus fruits, and I'll see if I can give you guys one more. Oh, raw honey is a great aromatase inhibiting food. So try to find a local raw honey, which is going to do tons of wonders for your body. But those are my top favorite aromatase inhibiting foods. You could also look up, Google, there's a ton. And then lastly, as you guys know, I hate to give supplements or things you need to buy. This is the least important, but activated charcoal, and you do want to be careful with this, so you can contact a physician, see if it's right for you. But activated charcoal or any binder, like a clay, something that you can take, it is going to bind to, it's so effective, they'll use this for an overdose patient. So someone that overdoses on a drug, they take charcoal, it's going to sop up a lot of those toxins and block the effect. So if you're taking a medication or something, I'd ask your doctor before you opt for this, and it's not something you're going to want to take daily. Just like, you want to do the food daily, you can do sauna daily, but for a more short term, if you need like a big cleanse, you can do like a sauna, niacin, charcoal detox. I would take the charcoal well hydrated so that you're flushing a lot of things out, but also not when you eat a lot of good foods, because it could also bind to a lot of the nutrients in those foods. So just covered the hidden sources of plastic with the highest return on investment. If you can eliminate these, always, forget even this section, go and eliminate these first, and you can start slow. Just if you don't want to invest in a whole new wardrobe, change out your underwear first to like organic cotton, change out your bed sheets. And then as you want to continue and you see the benefits to invest in yourself, we can work on doing more. So if you want to know more about the hidden sources of plastic, because again, there's hundreds of these, I put together a training. I give a list of a lot more than just on here, and give you solutions to eliminate them from your lifestyle, from your home, from your diet, refrigerator, and from your body, so we can get a whole grip on our entire health, take back our hormones, take back our vitality, and fight in this war. So I'll see you in there. I'll put a link in the description. It's totally free, and it's time to go to war.